It's the 23rd of June and it's another early morning upload from the southwest of Ireland with regard to the ongoing human rights violations and constitutional wrongdoings and treason and so on and so forth that are occurring unjustifiably and inexcusably against my good name, character and reputation, my marital status, my property status, my professional status, my mental status, my spiritual status, my financial status, my creative status have all been disrespected in Tralee, County Kerry, Ireland, and I'm a pacifist humanitarian with a spotlessly clean track record that's been defamed and slandered in this community by a collective of talentless, crude, unprofessional, undignified, irresponsible, unworthy, unqualified adults, social influencers apparently, social influencers with an agenda and a cause that does not serve the greater good or the betterment of society, a collective of social influencers that have been sending out a very negative message from Ireland with regard to the integrity that's associated and expected from the arts. I've been experiencing, as I've mentioned and documented throughout this entire charade, that there has been a lack of integrity, a lack of respect, and a lack of dignity associated with these people and their track records, their developments in society since 2006 haven't exactly been credit-worthy and haven't exactly highlighted positive qualifications or credentials in the fields that they're representing, apparently. They've caused defamation, fraud, the whole lot. They've just spoofed. They've just spoofed, bluffed, and just done the most ridiculous ventures and agendas in this society. The initiatives have been pathetic, to be quite honest. In the meantime, there's women like myself that have worked with integrity, dignity and respect, with clean track records, and there are the individuals with issues such as imposter syndrome that have an issue with respecting their own worth and have an issue with respecting their own capabilities and qualifications, that they have to cause such a ruckus and such a disruption and a hiatus, a furore in society, as they've done in Tralee, County Kerry since about 2016. These people have been imposing upon me, thinking they're going to become of my royal bloodline, thinking they're going to become of my credentials, thinking they're going to become of my achievements, and they've done nothing worthwhile or credit-worthy at all. So it's 2022, and these idiotic new nuisances that have been causing problems in this community since 2006 have still, up to this day, been causing societal obstacles in society. They're not paying their way, and they're not paying their dues, and they're not paying respect for the good fortune that has come their way as a consequence of my work. They have disrespected the cleanliness of the modern days, where the toxicity of the old days was wiped out in 2018 when I commenced my got to a certain stage of my humanitarian endeavour that initially originated in its genus in 2006. So it's come into formation since 2018. It's now 2022, and there are individuals living off my wealth and my work and thinking they're going to be benefiting and becoming fortuitous from offences against me. Now, there's property fraud and property theft occurring as well. And there's the information withhold and the disinformation that's going out there. Now, there's the medical negligence as well as all other matters. And there's the matter of my child being a missing person due to two presumed professionals from the Garda Síochána without any identification that withheld my child from me and withheld me in a context that wasn't valid at all. I'm a sanity and sobriety recovery advocate. And there are rotten eggs out there that are responsible for unlawful detainments. And to this day, in 2022, rather than address and repair and amend as they're obligated to, this is a spiritual sentient being. I'm a recovery advocate, I'm a humanitarian pacifist, etc. I'm an educator. And without being unbearable ad nauseum, but to drive the point home to people, these people of a collective in this small community, my hometown, have imposed upon my birthright and my bloodline, my royal bloodline, and they don't seem to comprehend that they have no basis for what they are doing. Most of them wouldn't be allowed near a church for what they've done in this situation. Now, what I'm owed from my country is inestimable. And there are politicians up in Dáil Éireann thinking they're going to come along and cause me more problems without fixing the problems they've caused me while they've been benefiting and prospering from my work and my wealth. Now, there's a little problem with incompetent people coveting my farmland after damaging my child's upbringing in 2017. These people are not excused in society with their exacerbatory offences. Their incompetence is disgraceful, it's disgusting. Any self-respecting human being would walk 1,000 miles in the opposite direction of the individuals, the repeat offenders that I am confronted with that are still imposing upon me to this day and are just toxic. They are just toxic. They have ruined people's lives and they have lived off people's wealth that they're not welcome to. And there's their harmonization and their synchronization efforts with my spiritual purpose is laughable. These people have not comprehended that first and foremost, their spiritual violence means that they're not able or in a position to be practicing for a long time again. Spiritual violence against a royal blood is sacrilegious. Now, there's a problem with people not understanding that it's the reality-based issue of the Constitution and the democracy and my constitutional rights being disrespected and my child being a missing person and the Tusla Child and Family Agency being held accountable for the damages done to my baby boy since 2017. Now, there are people getting a little bit out of hand and distracted by the reality, the democracy, the Constitution and the wrongdoings and the debts that I'm owed. And the church I was married in on the 30th of the 3rd, 2015, which is still legally binding, even though there are individuals still trying to control a marriage that they're not welcome to be a part of. The individuals that have caused damage to the family unit are not welcome within my marital property. They have to understand that. And the fact that they have not just coveted, but they have debts and damages and defamation. Dirty mouths are just terrible. And the defamation coming from some people is just that's stepping over. It's just day after day. But the point I'm making, the reality is the Constitution. And since 2017, since I gave birth in this democracy, I've been experiencing wrongdoings that the government owes reparations for. Now, the government can't just decide to walk off and ignore the benefits it's been gaining from my work, my wealth and my purpose. That's not feasible. It's not possible. Hate crime is intolerable either, especially when there are individuals harmonizing and synchronizing with the sacred royal. So the issue with the lovely aspirational notions of individuals that want to be a part of the spiritual experience would be advised to go off to India or somewhere. People that have notions about aspiring and that have caused me offence and that haven't lived with the code of ethics, behaviours and morals that would be expected from my calibre or my collective. We are avatars, we are light workers, we are sentient beings. We reform society. I have reformed society since 2018. I've been working on it for a long while. I've been teaching since 2003. It's 2022 now. So that's nearly 20 years. So the idea of these people in the past 3 years picking up where the boo-boos went down in 2018 when all of that came to light, there was so much uncovered, so many problems were solved as a consequence of my work in 2018. Now, there's been different stages to that work since 2018, and it's now 2022. So the aspirants that think they're going to candy store shop at my expense with my royal identity and bloodline have misunderstood and mistaken the reality of this circumstance. The idea of people imposing upon my spiritual identity, feeding off like parasites on piranhas, would be doing themselves very well to go off and do a retreat in India, really. You're not in a position to be praying with what background has occurred in this community, in my circumstances, within my proximity. People are in contempt